Hello students, we'll be talking about the topic of regression and interpolation, that is your unit number 5 here onwards. Before this we have completed unit number 4, which was mostly about the Gauss-Seidel and the Newton-Raphson methods. This is a very exciting topic, which is regression and interpolation. In fact, in today's world it is being largely used for data analytics, for data science purposes, for machine learning, etc. So it is good that you have this topic in your syllabus, and I will suggest you to go through this seriously, so that you can do a lot of things on. So moving ahead, what is regression? Regression basically means fitting the data to a line. Okay, fitting line to a data, sorry. So if you see the first figure here, figure A, you see there are around 7 points which are given there. Now these 7 points are the result of some kind of a graph, which is some kind of a data which is available in the field. Let us say that this data represents the, on x-axis it represents the day of the week, and on the y-axis it represents the let's say the power in power consumption in megawatts. This is just a example I'm trying to give to you. So with this data we have discrete points. That means we don't have many points, we have only 7 points. So how we can draw a line which covers, how we can connect all these points, and can we make use of this connection to predict something. Okay, so for example, if I have here from days from 0 to 5, these are the points. So can I know what will be the value of y for x somewhere in between this 5 and somewhere at this point? Okay, so somewhere at this point, what will be the value of y? Can I find that? So there are ways of doing it. One way of doing it is to use the curve fitting, which you may have studied in mathematics also. So basically regression is also a part of curve fitting only, but we'll see it in a different light for numerical methods, right? So one thing you can do is you can connect all the points so that equation at every point is satisfied by a complex curve as shown in figure B. So you see you are connecting all the points by a complex curve which is of a higher order polynomial. Maybe since we have 7 points, we can fit a 7th order polynomial. Okay, so you know the first order polynomial is your simple straight line, then you can have a quadratic equation, then you can have a cubic equation, then 4th order, 5th order, and so on. So you can fit a very complex curve like this and get the regression done. But the problem with this is, in reality, in real life, this particular fitting of curve may not represent the real life scenario. Rather than, what we can do is, instead of force fitting all the points, we can draw a straight line which indicates the pattern. We can draw a straight line which indicates the pattern in a better way. So if you see in the last figure, figure C, there is a straight line, the black line, which is not passing through any of the points, but it is very close to most of the points. Okay, so this kind of curve fitting is called as linear regression. Okay, this kind of curve fitting is known as linear regression. Okay, why linear? Because we are fitting a straight line, and regression means fitting some curve. So we are basically doing a linear regression. That means a straight line we are fitting. So how do we do this mathematically? To do this mathematically, we'll have to find out the equation for this curve. Okay, so we are talking about now figure C only. Hereafter we are talking only about figure C, that is the linear regression. So the curve of a straight line, the equation of a straight line is very simple. It is y equal to mx plus c, right? What is y? Y is the actual output, and this mx plus c is nothing but, in this case it is written as a0 plus a1x. Okay, where c is a0 in our standard terms and a1 is the slope of the line, right? So this is the output. But in reality, since this is a prediction, okay, there will be some error. You see the line is not passing through any of the points, so we cannot say that the line represents the point exactly. So there will be some error always involved. So this error is given by plus E. Okay, this error is given by plus E, right? So this is the equation of a straight line for a linear regression. Now our task is to find out, if we want to do linear regression, that means we have to find out the two things, A0 and A1. We have to find out A0 and A1 such that it will minimize the error E, such that it will minimize the error E in some way. Now what is that some way that we'll try to study? Okay, to explain you, I have drawn this crude diagram. Please excuse me for the graphic quality. This is the best I can manage. So let's say these black points which are shown here are the actual points, and the red line which I have drawn in between, this red line, okay, this red line is the curve which I have fitted, and this line I have obtained after doing the linear regression, right? So how do we calculate the error and minimize the error? So for that example, let us consider one case. So if I consider the case of this, when x is equal to 7, the actual point is this black point, and the value of this actual black point, coordinates of this actual black point are x is 7 and y is 3. If I do it here, then the y coordinate is 3 and x coordinate is 7, right? So this is how you can find the actual value. But the predicted value is by our line. So our line is saying that for x is equal to 7, this is my point. This is not the actual point, but this is the predicted point. So for this point, the value of the coordinates are 7 and 5, right? So the predicted value of y coordinate is 5, whereas the actual value of the y coordinate is 3. So what is the error then? This is the error. If I draw a straight line, this much is the error. That is, in this case, the error is 2. So I can consider that error is, let's say, negative or positive. I can use my terminology based on this. So similarly, I can derive the error for everything. So I'll have to draw a straight line from every point on this line and measure this vertical distance, okay, from this point here, from this point here, from this point here, right? So I can calculate all the errors for all the points. So I can name these errors. I can name this error as E1, this error can be named as E2, this error can be named as E3, and so on. So I can name these errors. So what is the error? It is nothing but this vertical distance. You can calculate this vertical distance. Now if I consider above this line vertical distance as positive, then below the line all the vertical distances will be considered as negative, right? So what I am supposed to do is, I am supposed to calculate all the errors for every point on the line, okay, every point, every actual point, and I have to calculate that error. And ultimately what I will do is, I will try to minimize the sum of the squares of the residuals. Now what is a residual? Okay, residual is nothing but this E1 which I have calculated. This we can call it as a residual, which is the predicted value minus the actual value, okay, predicted minus actual value, or otherwise you can say actual minus predicted value. So it is the difference between the actual and the predicted value, that is your residual. Similarly, you calculate the residual for point 2, that will be called as E2. Residual for point 3 will be called as E3. Residual for this point is E4. Residual for this point is E5. These are called as residuals, okay. Once you calculate the residuals, you have to minimize the sum of the squares of the residuals, okay, minimizing the sum of the squares of the residuals. Why we minimize the sum of the squares? Because our residual can be either positive or negative, but we want the difference. So what we'll do is, we'll take the square. If you take the square, naturally everything will become positive. Even if it is negative or positive, the square will become positive. So we will minimize the sum of the squares of the residuals. This is the way of actually calculating the value of A0 and A1. Okay, so students, so whatever I have discussed in the earlier slide, the same thing is written in the equation form here. You can see here. So what we are doing is, we are finding out for summation I equal to 1 to n. What is I equal to 1 to n? 1 to n is the number of points. So I equal to 1 will be the first point, I equal to 2 will be the second point, I equal to 3 will be the third point, up to nth point. EI square. What is EI? EI is the error or the residual, that is the measured value minus the predicted value. Measured is the actual value minus the predicted value. Even if I change this model minus predicted, the sign will remain the same, right? So measured minus predicted value square. This will be for every point, so 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 5, 6, 7. For every point we'll calculate the measured value, we'll subtract the actual the predicted value, take the square of that. Then we'll go to the second point, we'll take the measured value, we'll subtract the predicted value, and then we'll add everything up. This will give us this final equation, that is yi minus a0 minus a1 xi square, right? So if I'm supposed to write, let's say that if I'm required to write, let me clear this clutter, please wait for. So if I want to expand this equation, how I can write for these 7 points? I can write y1, okay, so y1 minus a0 minus 7x1 square, y1 minus a0 minus a1 x1 this whole square. This will be the one term for one point, for this first point, right? Plus I'll write y2 minus a0 minus a1 x2 square, right? Then plus y3 minus a0 minus a1 x3 square, and this will continue till nth point. So in my case the n point is 7, so I will write y7 minus a0 minus a1 x7 square. So if you carefully observe, in all these terms the a0 and a1 are fixed, and the y1 and x1, y2, x2, these indices are changing. Okay, so this is the meaning of this equation. After expanding. Okay, this is called as the residual sum of squares. Okay, finding the residual sum of squares, and then we'll minimize this. So this is the sum of squares basically. So how do we minimize this? We'll see. Okay, so to minimize the residual sum of squares with respect to a0 and a1, our aim is to find out the value of a0 and a1 which will minimize the sum of squares. So for that we can use the standard mathematics, that will partial differentiate the equation first with respect to a0, then with respect to a1, okay, and then we'll substitute this as 0, okay, and after solving this we'll get these two answers. So we get the expression for a1 and a0. So expression for a1 is n summation of xi yi minus summation of xi into summation of yi divided by n summation of xi square minus summation of xi square, right? Okay, then n is the number of data points, right? N is the number of data points that we have, and after we get a1 we can also get the value of a0. It is y bar minus a1 into x bar. Now this y bar and x bar are nothing but the means of y and x. Okay, so if there are 10 points, we'll calculate the average for y, and that will be y bar. We'll calculate the average for x, that will be x bar. So these are the two equations which will help us in actually coming out with a values of a0 and a1 for a linear regression, right? Which minimizes the LSE. Okay, LSE stands for the least sum of squares error. That is very important. This is mostly used in the industry as well. Okay, so we can understand everything best with the help of a numerical example. So the numerical example we are considering here is this. You are given a table with the values of xi and yi. That means x and y values are given. So you can plot these x and y values on a graph. I have tried to do some graph drawing here. So when x is 1, y is 0.5. Okay, so this is the first point. When x is 2, then then y is 2.5. So when x is 2, y is 2.5. So this is the second point, and so on. You can draw all the points, right? So first of all, we are supposed to find out the value of a0 and a1 for this particular numerical. So these x and y values are given, and you are supposed to calculate the value of a0 and a1. So earlier we have seen that equation, so we'll be using that equation. So first of all we'll require n. What is n? N is the number of data points. So if you count, there are how many data points? Xi 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. So there are 7 data points, so n is 7. Then we will calculate the summation of xi into yi. What is summation of xi? Summation of xi is nothing but the addition of all the x coordinates. Addition of all the x coordinates. So if you add everything up, that means if you add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7, what will be the answer here? It will be 28. So summation of xi is 28. Then you can find the mean. How many points are there? 7 points. What is the total of all the coordinates? 28. So mean will be 28 divided by 7, that is x bar is 4. Similarly, you can calculate the summation of yi, which comes out as 24. So addition of all these points. Okay, 0.5 plus 2.5 plus 2 plus 4 plus 3.5 plus 6 plus 5.5. This will give you 24, right? So this is your y, summation of y, which is 24. Then you can similarly calculate y bar, which is 24 by 7. So it is 3.42857. Then we have derived the earlier equation for a1 and a0. We'll simply substitute the values in those equations. So I am substituting the value of a1, all the xi y in this equation, and for a0 in this equation. Okay, once you do that, you will get the value of a1 as 0.83928 and a0 as 0.07142857, right? So this is, after I get this, I can draw this line in the graph paper, and this will be my line of the least sum of squares, right? And you can also calculate the, see here, yi minus y bar square. So this is the error with respect to the mean of y, and this is the fit with a0 and a1. So this is the sum of squares. It is 2.9911 yi minus a0 minus a1 x1 square. So this is the error square for all the points taken together is 3. So this is the minimum error that we can get for this particular a0 and a1, right? Now as the number of points will increase, okay, it will be more and more difficult for us to do this. So there we use some different kind of we can use the computer programming for that purpose and get the best fit line. Okay, here we have seen only 7 points, so it was possible to do the things manually. But if you want to do it for say 10,000 points, 20,000 points, which is actually a case in real life problems, in that case we'll have to resort to mathematical computations. We can either use Python, scikit-learn, or we can use MATLAB for that purpose. Okay, so after doing this, I have just tried to draw that LSE line. So you see the points were given here are like this, and the red line indicates the least sum of squares. Okay, this red line is what we have calculated. So here a0 is very less. We have got a0 as how much? 0.07. a0 is 0.07. It is very less, so we assume that it is almost 0. And then a1 is 0.839 or 0.84, so almost 1. Okay, so we can take these 2 points and draw a straight line. So this red line will give us the straight line. Now here these are the errors which are actual errors, but still this line will give us the minimum error, minimum sum of squares error. Okay, so guys, this is all about the linear regression using the LSE technique. So once again recap. So what is a regression? Regression is basically fitting a curve through a number of points which are given in a graph. What is the use of regression? By using regression, we can do some kind of predictive analytics, or we can calculate the values of missing points. Okay, for which data is not there, we can use this curve and we can predict that this should be the value, right? We can also do interpolation using this, and there are various ways of doing regression. One way is, the simplest way is to do the linear regression. That means whatever may be the points and whatever may be the spread of the points, you fit a straight line only. Okay, and to fit that straight line, we'll have to minimize some error. So what we minimize? We do not minimize the absolute value, we minimize the sum of the squares of the errors. Okay, so for every point there will be some error E. We'll calculate the error E's for all points. So this point, every point, we'll calculate the error. we'll take the square of the error and we'll minimize that. For that, we'll calculate the value of A0 and A1. This will give us the best fit line. Alright. So thank you for listening. I will recommend that you read through the book also till this point, and next time we'll see the MATLAB implementation of this. Thank you so much.